Jnanakosha Vedas Atharvana Veda by pact.
ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपवज्रवत्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पतः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः
Atharvana Veda Upanishads, Mandukya Upanishad. The Mandukya Upanishad is the shortest of all the Upanishads and is assigned to Atharva Veda. It is listed as number 6 in the Muktika canon of 108 Upanishads. It is in prose, consisting of 12 verses, and is associated with a Rig Vedic school of scholars. It discusses the syllable Om, presents the theory of 4 states of consciousness, asserts the existence and nature of Atman. The Mandukya Upanishad is notable for having been recommended in the Muktika Upanishad through 2 central characters of the Ramayana as the one Upanishad that alone is sufficient for knowledge to gain moksha, and as first in its list of 11 principal Upanishads. The text is also notable for inspiring Gaudapada's Karika, a classic for the Vedanta school of Hinduism. Mandukya Upanishad is among the oft-cited texts on chronology and philosophical relationship between Hinduism and Buddhism. The Mandukya Upanishad is an important Upanishad in Hinduism, particularly to its Advaita Vedanta school. It tersely presents several central doctrines, namely that the universe is Brahman, the self, soul, Atman exists and is Brahman, and the 4 states of consciousness. The Mandukya Upanishad also presents several theories about the syllable Om, and that it symbolizes self. In the Mandukya Upanishad. The Mandukya Upanishad is one of several Upanishads that discusses the meaning and significance of the syllable Om. The Mandukya Upanishad opens by declaring Om, this syllable is this world, whole world. Thereafter, it presents the various explanations and theories on what it means and signifies. This discussion is built on a structure of 4/4 or fourfold derived from A plus A, U plus M plus silence, or without an element. As all states of time. In verse 1, the Upanishad states that time is threefold: the past, the present, and the future. That these 3 are The fourth of time is that which transcends time. That too is expressed. As all states of Atman. In verse 2 states the Upanishad, everything is Brahman, but Brahman is Atman, the soul, self, and that the Atman is fourfold. As all states of consciousness. In verses 3 to 6, the Mandukya Upanishad enumerates 4 states of consciousness: wakeful, dream, deep sleep, and the state of Ekatma, being one with self, the oneness of self. These 4 are A plus U plus M plus without an element, respectively. As all of etymological knowledge. In verses 9 to 12, the Mandukya Upanishad enumerates 4-fold etymological roots of the syllable It states that the first element of is A, which is from apti, obtaining, reaching, or from adhimatva, being first. The second element is U, which is from utkasara, exaltation, or from ubhayatva, intermediateness. The third element is M, from miti, erecting, constructing, or from minati, or apati, annihilation. The fourth is without an element, without development, beyond the expanse of universe. In this way, states the Upanishad, the syllable Om is the Atman, the self, indeed. Four states of consciousness. The Mandukya Upanishad describes four states of consciousness, namely waking, Jagrat, dreaming, Swapna, and deep sleep, Susapti, which correspond to the three bodies doctrine. The first state is the waking state, in which we are aware of our daily world. It is described as outward knowing, Bahish Prajanya, gross, Sthula, and universal, Vaishvanara. This is the gross body. The second state is the dreaming mind. It is described as inward knowing, Anta Prajna, subtle, Pravavikta, and burning, Taijasa. This is the subtle body. The third state is the state of deep sleep. In this state, the underlying ground of consciousness is undistracted. The Lord of all, Sarva Ishvara, the knower of all, Sarva Jnana, the inner controller, Antaryami, the source of all, the origin and dissolution of creating things. This is the causal body. The fourth factor is Surya, pure consciousness. It is the background that underlies and transcends the three common states of consciousness. In this consciousness, both absolute and relative are transcendented. It is the true state of experience of the infinite, Ananta, and non-different, Advaita, Abheda, free from the dualistic experience which results from the attempts to conceptualize reality. It is the state in which Adjectivada, non-organization and origination is apprehended. Theory and nature of Atma. The verses 3 through 7 discuss four states of Atma, self, soul. Verse 3 of the Upanishad describes the first state of self as outwardly cognitive with 7 limbs, 19 mouths, enjoying the grass, a state of self common in all of human beings. The Mandukya Upanishad in verse 4 asserts the second state of self as inwardly cognitive with 7 limbs, 19 mouths, enjoying the executive, a state of brilliant self. The Upanishad's verse 5 states the third state of self as one without desire or anticipations, where pure conscience is his only mouth, where he is in unified cognition, enjoying the delight, a state of blissful self. The verses 6 and 7 of the Upanishad states the fourth state of self as one beyond all the three, beyond extrospective state, beyond introspective state, beyond cognitive state, the state of one with the self, tranquil, benign, Advaita without second. He then is the self, just Atman, the one which should be discerned. Here is the Upanishad. Om, O God, may we hear with our ears what is auspicious. May we see with our eyes what is auspicious. May we, while offering our praise to God with our bodies strong of limbs, enjoy the life which the gods are pleased to grant us. May Indra of great fame be well disposed to us. May the all-knowing, the immensely wealthy Pusha be propitious to us. May Garuda, the vanquisher of miseries, be well pleased with us. May Brihaspati grant us all prosperity. Om, Om, peace, peace, peace. All this is the letter Om. A vivid explanation of this is begun. All that is past, present and future is but Om. Whatever transcends the three periods of time, too is Om. All this is certainly Brahman. This self is Brahman. This self as such is possessed of four quarters. The self seated in the waking state and called Vaivasvara, who possessed of the consciousness of the exterior and 7 limbs and 19 mouths, enjoys the gross objects, is the first quarter. The self seated in the state of dream and called Taijasva, who possessed of the consciousness of the interior and 7 limbs and 19 mouths, enjoys the subtle objects, is the second quarter. Where the sleeper desires not a thing of enjoyment and sees not any dream, that state is deep sleep. The self seated in the state of deep sleep and called Prajanya, in whom everything is unified, who is dense with consciousness, who is full of bliss, who is certainly the enjoyer of bliss, and who is the door to the knowledge of the preceding two states, is the third quarter. This is the Lord of all, this is omniscient, this is the indwelling controller of all, this is the source and indeed the origin and dissolution of all beings. The fourth is thought of as that which is not conscious of the internal world, nor conscious of the external world, nor conscious of both the worlds, nor dense with consciousness, nor simple consciousness, nor unconsciousness, which is unseen, actionless, incomprehensible, uninferable, unthinkable, uninferable, undescribable, whose proof consists in the identity of the self in all states, in which all phenomena come to a cessation, and which is unchanging, auspicious, and non-dual. That is the self that is to be known. That same self, from the point of view of the syllable, is Om, and viewed from the standpoint of the letters, the quarters are the letters and the letters are the quarters. The letters A, U, and M. Vaivasvara, seated in the waking state, is the first letter, owing to its all-pervasiveness, or being the first. He who knows thus verily accomplishes all longings and becomes the first. Taijasa, seated in the dream, is U, the second letter of Om, owing to the similarity of excellence or intermediate position. He who knows thus verily advances the bounds of his knowledge and becomes equal to all, and none who is not a knower of Brahman is born in his family. Prajanya, seated in the state of deep sleep, is M, the third letter of Om, because of his being the measure or the entity wherein all become absorbed. He who knows thus measures all this and absorbs all. That which is without letters is the fourth, beyond apprehension through ordinary means, the cessation of the phenomenal world, the auspicious and the non-dual. Thus Om is certainly the self. He who knows thus enters the self by the self. Om, O gods, may we hear with our ears that what is auspicious, may we see with our eyes that is auspicious, may we, while offering our praise to God, with our bodies strong of limbs, enjoy the life which the gods are pleased to grant us. May Indra of great fame be well disposed to us. May the all-knowing or immensely wealthy Pusha be propitious to us. May Garuda, the vanquisher of miseries, be well pleased with us. May Brihaspati grant us all prosperity. Om, peace, peace, peace. Here ends the Mandukya Upanishad as contained in the Atharva Veda.